stops now. Oh, what a cop.
Yo, 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 good money bag morning, evening, night, whatever time zone you're in. So, for anybody who is on social media, which is every single one of you, you've seen over this past week, like literally every single week or day I've logged onto social media. There's something about crypto not pumping, but dumping. Literally, imagine you put it in a toilet and you flush it. That's basically been the entire week. And we've spoken about this before, literally months ago, sometime last year. I was going on and on and on about how crypto will not save you, cash flow will. And outside of that being a super cool slogan or whatever, it's the facts, it's the truth. From the standpoint of the reason cash flow is so important is cash flow enables you to have actual direct control and influence over your ability to earn money. AKA, it's not luck based because no matter how smart you are, no matter how much money you have, unless you're obviously hundreds of millions of dollars, which maybe you have hundreds of millions of dollars, you can't really influence the crypto market. You can make assumptions, you can decide based off different things. This is what you think is going to happen. And that's just not a good POV to be approaching your financial future. Now, once you've got plenty of money, let's say you've got a couple mil or whatever, cool. At that point, that really does make sense. It's fun. But on top of that, you could start making some sizable returns. And even then, I mean, you're going to need around like 100K, 50 to 100K just to get started from the standpoint of seeing sizable returns. Because I just to give you an example, I wrote about this in an article recently. If you put $2,000 a month into Bitcoin over the last 12 months, your total investment would be $24,000. Now, for context, this is something I posted about a week ago. So this is from 2025. If you'd have put $2,000 a month into Bitcoin over a 12-month period, obviously you would have invested 24K. Now, your value today, which this is before the dump, this is just 2025, would have been $20,269, aka you lost $3,730. So you put 2K a month, your hard-earned money into Bitcoin over a 12-month period. You basically lost $3,730. That's more than inflation that everybody's so terrified of. You may as well have just like bought, I don't know, a new iPhone or something, and a MacBook with that money. But if we zoom out, how can we view this properly? Because it's not about emotion, it's not about any of that, or even opinions. It's about fact. The fact is, crypto is going to continue going up. Bitcoin over the next 5-10 years, based off of people that have literally dedicated their lives to this, they say over the next 5 to 10 years, it will go up. I would agree with that assessment. But it should not be your like 90% of your get rich quick or get rich scheme. It should not be that at all. Your get rich scheme, your plan should be having an actual cash flow business. Now, on the side, especially for those of you who are already pulling in, let's call it 8 to 10K a month, you could even go as low as like 6K a month, 6K a month. That's fine too. I would agree. You should definitely be putting some money into something you believe in, whether it's like stocks. Maybe you believe in Elon, so you're going to invest in Tesla, or maybe it's Bitcoin and you genuinely believe based off the fact of, example, Eric Trump. He has like tons and tons of money invested in Bitcoin, and I would say is close to the inner circle as possible as far as seeing the future of it. You've got people like Michael Saylor, who's got tons and tons of money invested in it. You've got BlackRock. You've got tons of other companies that are putting money into it. So I would say that they probably know the financial markets and all that a little bit better than we do from the standpoint of it's going to go up. But 90% of your plan should be, how can I create cash flow by generating value in the market? That should be where your main focus is. Because the reason for that is this is something you can actually influence. It's something you can actually influence. This is something that you have control over. If you decide that you want to make more money today, you have more control over it. AKA, you can start doing outreach. You can post more content. You can send out 30 or 40 different DMs to potential clients. You can upsell a current client. Versus if you want to make more money from, example, crypto, well, you're just going to have to hope and pray that it goes up today if you needed to make money. So you need to view investing as, and this is how it's always been. It's just over the last couple of years that people see investing as some type of get rich quick thing, but it totally is not. Investing is something that it's a long-term plan. Once again, 10, 20 years. As far as how can you make more money now, well, you need a business. And I'm not just going to give my opinion on this. I'm going to use actual stats. Approximately 75% of the world's richest individuals are entrepreneurs who built their own companies. And then let's see, studies indicate that 91% of individuals with a net worth of $5 million or more are entrepreneurs. So 91% of individuals with a net worth of $5 million or more are entrepreneurs, aka they run a business. And then when it comes to that, very few people build substantial wealth through investments alone. One study showed only 2.4% of millionaires surveyed achieved their status primarily through investing. And so the key word in this is it's not saying that you can't get rich from investing. Obviously, you can. But as far as getting your initial money, becoming a millionaire, or just making a good monthly income, it's going to come from cash flow because your investments, it's all about compounding. So it's going to compound over a 10, 15, 20-year range so that as the time passes and you're bringing in more and more money from your cash flow business, aka you're closing more clients, you're growing your social media following, you're enhancing your skills, you start hiring teams, you start integrating AI into what you're doing, which is what I teach. You're doing all this, and you actually are able to affect your income, aka your revenue. So your revenue is going up over the months and years. That's going to give you a larger amount of money, a percentage of your money that you can put into these things that over time is going to compound over 10, 15, 20 years. But most people, 91% of people who've become self-made millionaires, meaning they didn't come from a rich family, they became a millionaire through having their own business, not through investing. So some people have it twisted, and I get it from the POV of they're lazy and they're also scared of risk, which I totally understand. And so they think, oh, I'm just going to research into this thing and I'm going to like put some money here and there. I'm going to play around with some money here and there. And over time, yeah, then I might kind of sort of get rich, yeah, from investing. No. If you want to have actual influence over it, you need cash flow. And to make substantial amounts of money, you need more money. So, of course, I mean, let's just think about this logically. $24,000 versus you having $100,000 to invest into, let's call it Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's going to go back up. Crypto will go back up. That's what all the experts are saying. And I believe that. So imagine you got 24K, 100K. What's going to give you more of an ROI based off of the increase? Obviously, it's going to be the 100K. So how do you get to the 100K first? Well, I mean, you could save up from a job, but I don't know about you, but whenever I was working a 9 to 5, it was damn near impossible for me to be able to save up money, especially that kind of money. And then also, if we expand on this further, labor earnings are not sufficient to make someone significantly rich, meaning you need to have your own actual business. Let's see, among the top 0.1% of earners, 75% of their business profits are attributed to human capital, their direct active efforts, meaning posting content, doing outreach, getting results for clients, upselling your clients. So 75% rather than just financial capital investments. And so for you to take control of your financial future and to actually get out of this doomer bubble, because there's this doomer bubble going around where people think AI is going to replace everybody, but then there's people that are getting nerfed by this crypto thing. So I get it. For the average person that doesn't have a cash flow business, they're probably terrified. I've been talking to my friends, and my friends who focus primarily in cash flow, so they have investments. We all do, but they've primarily focused on their actual business, their revenue from their business. We're like, oh, whatever, is the crypto stuff's going to go back up. I do have a couple people though that I know that are primarily just their source of income. Their pie in the sky is investments. And I'm talking stocks, I'm talking crypto, and it's down. And of course, they're freaking out right now because outside of their job, they don't really have much. And so on your end, there's a sense of freedom, there's a sense of confidence, there's a sense of control when you actually can influence the environment around you and your financial future. So sitting there putting all of your eggs in this basket of something that is completely luck based, because no matter how smart you think you are, you don't have any influence over crypto. You don't have any investments over the big stocks out there, anything. You can theorize, once again, you can theorize. You could read all these different people's opinions about what's going to happen and come to a conclusion. But even still, the only way to make a sizable ROI is either one, having lots of money, or two, waiting long enough, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And so, in my very biased opinion, based off actual facts, you need to be super focused on your cash flow right now. I would actually say every hour that you put into researching into what you should invest in and all these shiny objects is an hour that you completely wasted, because you could have taken that same hour and put it into developing your skills, getting a little bit better at maybe editing a video. You could have put that hour into writing a week's worth of emails, a week's worth of tweets, a week's worth of Instagram swipe posts, reels. You could have put that hour into doing more outreach. You could have put that hour into working with your clients. And so this is less about crypto won't save you, cash flow will, which it is. And it's more so about putting the control, putting the power in your hands to do things that you actually have influence over. Is this making sense? Let me know right now, because this is very important all of you understand. And this is 100% an optimized. I heard someone say crypto won't save you, cash flow will. Sounds like good advice. Yeah, Jaded, you heard me say that. I'm the originator of that, unless you're saying that as a joke. But anyways, this is less about like doomer, and this is more about like you actually have so much more influence, and you should be so much more positive about the future. The future of the world is getting better. Are there things that need to be improved? Yes. But you can look through history over hundreds and thousands of years, and there's always been time periods where it seems like it's all over. So don't get into this whole doomer thing. Every single time period, every 10, 20 years, whatever, they have periods of time where it seems as if everything's over. What we're experiencing right now is a changing of the guard. We're having a changing of the guard where new economic systems are being set up. Some people that used to be young, obviously now they're getting old. Some of them are dying off. A lot of them own a lot of the houses, inflation. I mean, there's so many different things that are happening around the world. And wouldn't you rather put yourself in a position to where you can weather the storm without it? Of course, you'll feel it sometimes, but wouldn't you rather give yourself as much of a cushion against what's happening around the world? Wouldn't you rather take more control from the standpoint of you're not playing a luck-based game with your future? I mean, it just makes sense to me. Personally, okay, cool. Haven't gotten around to any of the post-grad. Let's see all the time spent growing. Yeah, Justin, I mean, his stuff, Adam's stuff is 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Even I talked to him. He's one of the few people I respect about it. But I'm glad that you're putting most of your time into actually doing crypto stuff. Into business stuff, I mean. Let's see. Very few have predicted the crypto. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, 100%. There's an actual crypto campus. Yeah, 100%. Reach 24, don't like that. Only good thing is peak energy. Better ride through the storm in a ship than a life raft. 100%, bro. So, once again, this is not bad. This is not investing is bad. This is investing either requires a substantial amount of money and or time. So, as long as you're doing those two things, one of those two things, it's fine. But outside of that, you should be focused on your cash flow because that's how you're going to get to having more money. That's how you're going to get to the time's going to pass regardless. And so you'll be in a better position. This is the main argument that I'm going to make before we close up. You're going to have much higher advantage, much more leverage if you focus on your cash flow from your business. So meaning, what does that mean? That means your clients. Every single client adds to your cash flow. It adds to your revenue. You're going to have so much more success if that's what you're focused on primarily. And then once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, you can allocate some of that money into an investment. Now, once again, it's going to take you 10, 15 years to really see a noticeable, like, wow, that was awesome. But that would put you in a better position than you sitting there thinking that just investing alone is going to help you achieve all of your goals. You need the cash flow coming in. So before we wrap up, does anybody have any questions for me? Literally focus on the checklist and your clients. 100%, bro. If people just did that, their life would be so much better. Five to 10% will be enough. 100% agree. Professor, when do we get the Insta playbook? I'm glad that you're like, oh, because I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to give it out or put it out there for all of you. And I'm looking to do it this coming week because typically Saturday, Sunday doesn't seem to be have as high attendance. And so it's going to kind of be a waste because as of now, it's going to be a one and done, not posting the recording or anything. So as of now, it's going to be early this week. What is the most outreaches you've ever sent in a day? The most outreaches I've ever sent in a day was 1,000 DMs. And I don't encourage that, but that's what I did at the time. Will we get the IG call algo? I'd like to add the algo in my content machine app. Currently, only have the X algo. Yes, you'll be getting that. Let's see. Now, after 2 years of doing this, it really shows how easy it is to get started. 100% Jose. And once again, Jose, shout out to you for making $9,400. That's the power of cash flow. I love it. Have you ever thought about launch? No, I'm not going to do that. Do you think I should learn editing in Premiere Pro because I do social media marketing for fitness niche, or should I focus on the course material in this campus? Premiere Pro, I mean, sure, cool. It's useful to a degree, but I would, from what I've seen, it's a little too complicated to get started. Of course, you'll quickly pick it up, but I personally would focus on either the edits app that Instagram has or CapCut. Get that started, get the money coming in from clients, and then from there, you can upgrade to Premiere Pro. That's fine. Do you think there will be a time in the future where you can't get rich anymore? I think it's going to get to a point where it's going to be harder to get rich. Yes, I do agree with that. I'll tell you, all of you this. I'm kicking myself sometimes. Back in 2014, whenever I was just getting into all of this stuff, it was so absurdly easy. But the problem at that time was, well, like nobody had any information about how to edit videos. Not really many people were watching videos. A lot of it was written and all of that. And so, but nobody really knew how to do SEO. There's all these gatekeepers. And then 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, there's various time periods where it's super easy and then it got harder, super easy, then it got harder. What I foresee happening is over the next 3 to 5 years, more and more people, it's going to really come down to like us, what we're doing, where we learn how to actually integrate AI into what we're doing, which I already teach all of you how to do. So we understand that. So we're able to increase our productivity. But then we also have the added advantage of we have a social media audience. So we're able to reach people, and people want to work with people. They do not want to work with AI. Yes, AI, the AI avatar stuff, it gets views, but it doesn't necessarily make money. So clients want to work with humans. So we'll have the advantage of we understand how to integrate AI into our business. We understand we have a personal brand, we have content going out, and we've already established ourselves with clients over the next couple years. And so for people outside of that that are just getting started, let's say 3 years from now, it's going to be harder. How do you increase the price you charge for a client after you've gotten them some results? Well, I mean, it's easy. If you can prove that you're actually making them more money and it's worth paying you more, then it's going to make sense to them. Now, if you've been doing it for a couple months, it doesn't make sense to all of a sudden magically increase your prices. But if you have a proven track record with a client and they can see that you've actually been increasing or you're worth the money, then do it. When it comes to type of clients who wants more work for the same price, what is your best take? I started using a contract. They say exactly what I'll do and nothing extra. I think that's the smartest approach, bro. That's the smartest approach. And also, yeah, if people want more work for the same price, I'm just going to charge them more. Last week, I created a reel for an Audi Tradition Sport. I will use this connection in the future. How would you use it in the future? Treat them like a friend, deliver tremendous results, and stay in contact with them and go above and beyond with this work you're doing with them. Go above and beyond, even stuff they're not paying you for. Heard someone said fitness niche is generic. Is that true? It is generic from the standpoint of working with those types of people. There are a few people that really stand out, and you can really help them with the content and monetization, yes. But if you're talking about the standpoint of you launching a fitness brand, just stand out. It is very, it's like motivational content, fitness content. So if you can come in, if you want to do a fitness brand, then for sure you can. But I've already talked about this before, but you need to nail in like this is the type of fitness stuff I talk about. This is my unique diet. This is the unique mechanism, etc. So as long as you do that, you'll be fine. Is it a bad idea to shift from part-time sales job to a full-time marketing job at 19? Bro, I would say you have plenty of time on your side. It really depends on what your goals are. So you should, example, a part-time job, still it gives you the benefit of having experience with sales and all of that. And it gives you plenty of time to focus on your business. But even if you're working a full-time marketing job, you still have an hour a day to work on your business, if not more, if you're not wasting it. So do what is going to position you to be the best and most competitive version of yourself. Anyways, let's go and wrap this up. I want all of you to go react to, listen to today's daily checklist, listen to the daily lesson. Have a money bag-tastic day. Drop money bag challenge. You've seen this, and I'll kill the stream.